In the early fall of 2019, Riverview, Pennsylvania, a quiet suburban town where neighbors knew each other by name and nothing unusual ever happened, became the setting of one of the most baffling mysteries in modern American crime history. The town had always been predictable. Children rode their bikes down tree-lined streets, mail carriers knew everyone by sight, and police patrols were almost ceremonial. But one morning, the routine of Willow Creek Street was shattered in a way no one could have imagined. It was a cool Tuesday morning when Janet Rhodes, a vigilant neighbor who walked her dog every day, noticed something odd. The front door of the Carvers' home, Mark and Elena Carver, known for their friendly smiles and perfectly maintained yard, was wide open. Janet hesitated, peering inside. Everything seemed normal at first glance. The kitchen was spotless. A pot of coffee was half-brewed, the aroma still faint in the air. Keys and wallets sat on the counter exactly where they belonged. Shoes were lined up neatly by the door. Ethan Carver's backpack rested near the living room couch. The house seemed frozen in time, yet the family was nowhere to be found. Janet dialed 911, her hands trembling. "Something's wrong. The Carvers are gone, and nobody's answering," she told the dispatcher. Officers arrived within minutes, expecting perhaps a break-in, a family argument, something they could explain. But as they stepped into the house, they were met with something far stranger than they could have anticipated. There were no signs of a struggle, no blood, no broken furniture, nothing disturbed. It was as if the family had simply vanished into thin air. Detective Lauren Hale, a seasoned homicide investigator, arrived around 9 a.m. She examined the home with the trained eye of someone who had seen thousands of crime scenes. Usually, even the most meticulous criminals left something behind: a fingerprint, a hair, a footprint, a knocked-over lamp. But here, the house told no story. It was unervingly perfect. Every cup was in its place. Every chair was aligned with precision. Every surface was clean. And yet, 3 people were missing. Neighbors were questioned, and their testimonies only added to the mystery. The Carvers were described as normal, friendly, and predictable. One teenager mentioned hearing a muffled thud around midnight, but thought it was an animal. No one saw anyone enter or exit the house overnight. Security cameras from the street and nearby homes showed nothing unusual. The family arrived home around 8:40 p.m. the previous evening. After that, the footage showed no one leaving, no one approaching, no suspicious cars, no shadows. The search expanded. Forensic teams swept the house with advanced equipment. Luminol was sprayed to detect hidden blood. Garbage bins, drains, and even the attic were checked. Dogs trained to track human scent scoured the property. Nothing. The trail ended inside the house. It was as if the Carvers had been erased from existence. Days turned into weeks. Flyers with the Carvers' pictures were posted across Pennsylvania. Police explored nearby woods, rivers, abandoned buildings, even storm drains. The case caught media attention, and the town buzzed with speculation. How could a family disappear from their home without leaving a single trace? Then, for weeks later, a breakthrough of sorts emerged. A silver bracelet found by a utility worker near an underground access hatch, 3 miles from Willow Creek. It belonged to Elena Carver, but there were no fingerprints, no tool marks, no footprints leading to or from it. Just the bracelet, lying on slightly muddy ground as if placed there by someone who wanted to be found, or perhaps by someone meticulous enough to leave nothing else behind. Detective Hale turned her focus to underground utility tunnels and electrical conduits. The region had old and used tunnels that stretched for miles beneath the town. Search teams explored them, but the maze was confusing, dark, and dangerous. Each route ended in a dead end. Every time they thought they found something, it turned out to be abandoned equipment or debris. It was as if the family had slipped into another world altogether, one invisible to the surface. Months passed, and then another strange incident occurred. At a storage facility in a neighboring town, a security guard reported seeing a teenage boy matching Ethan's description running near the property late at night. When he approached, the boy disappeared around a corner. Snow covered the ground, but there were no footprints. The guard was adamant. He even gave a detailed description of Ethan's clothing. Yet security cameras showed only the guard running, with no sign of the boy. No shadow, no figure, nothing. Investigators dug deeper and discovered more anomalies. Phone records showed that the Carvers' devices had pinged briefly near unusual locations hours after they vanished, only to go dead permanently. Credit card records were untouched. Even more bizarre, neighbors reported seeing lights flicker in the Carvers' home in the weeks after their disappearance, though the house was empty and the power cut off. Was it a malfunction or someone signaling from within? The community speculated endlessly. Had the Carvers left voluntarily? Were they victims of an elaborate abduction? Or was it something even more sinister? Someone with the knowledge, patience, and resources to execute a perfect crime, leaving the house immaculate and the town none the wiser? Every theory seemed plausible yet impossible. Over the next few years, advances in forensic technology provided no answers. Thermal imaging, satellite imagery, and renewed searches through old tunnels yielded nothing. The house on Willow Creek Street remained unsold and untouched, a silent sentinel to a family erased. Neighbors avoided it, some claiming they could feel the absence, a sense of unease that lingered in the air. The Carvers case continues to baffle detectives. No bodies have been found. No confirmed sightings exist. No suspects have been identified. The story has become a cautionary tale in law enforcement circles, a case so baffling that it is studied as an example of a crime without evidence, a disappearance without trace, a perfect enigma. And even now, the questions endure. How can a crime happen without leaving evidence? How can 3 people vanish from a suburban home without surveillance, neighbors, or environmental signs? Did they vanish voluntarily, or did someone plan a crime so meticulous that even modern technology could not detect it? The house on Willow Creek Street still stands, quiet and untouched, watched by neighbors who remember the day the Carvers vanished. A house frozen in time, a family missing, a mystery that refuses to be solved. The strange lights, the missing bracelet, the vanished footsteps, all pieces of a puzzle that may never be completed. Some speculate they were hidden in underground tunnels, taken far away, or that they disappeared by some method beyond comprehension. Others whisper about mistakes in reality, a world where someone can erase a family without leaving a trace. But whatever the truth, one thing is certain. The Carvers vanished, leaving behind a perfect crime scene, a home that tells no story, and a mystery that haunts the town to this day. A crime scene with no evidence. How is it possible? In Riverview, Pennsylvania, it happened, and the truth may never be known. A crime scene with no evidence. How is it possible?